This Saturday, December 16th, Revolution Pro Wrestling presents our final flagship show of the year as we bring to you Uprising 2023 live from the Crystal Palace National Sports Centre. Now join us as we take a look back at how we got there. One of the most eagerly anticipated matches in RevPro history will headline Uprising 2023 when the Bullet Club's War Dogs Gabe Kid goes one-on-one with the best wrestler in the world, the aerial assassin Will Ospreay. It was Gabe Kid who fired the first shot at the conclusion of New Japan Pro Wrestling's Royal Quest event, choking out Will Ospreay backstage and laying down the challenge.
That's a message for you. I told you, I'm done playing games. Will Ospreay, 16th of December, Crystal Palace, me and you, and I'm coming for your career. It is your chance, mate. It is your chance. 16th of December. In the main event, I will settle for nothing less. In the main event, your big chance. You talked and you've talked and you've talked. I want to see you step up. I've been 229. Want to see you step up. So here's your chance. Get in the ring with the Billy Goat and try and beat me. But you and everyone else from 2023 are about to find out why my name is Will Ospreay and I am on another level.
My Wrestle Kingdom comes this Saturday. This Saturday in London. Ospreay, you are fucking dead.
This Saturday, those words will be replaced by fists as Gabe Kid and Will Ospreay go to war. Liverpool's number one, Zack Gibson, will challenge for the undisputed British Heavyweight Championship when he goes one-on-one with Meloku. Gibson shocked the wrestling world at the conclusion of our Live in London 79 event, attacking Oku and staking his claim for championship gold.
This company deserves a champion that can take that title and elevate it to new heights. December 16th, Crystal Palace. You are going to have to hit a lot harder than that. I am Liverpool's number one, Zack Gibson. I am the man that is going to take that title. I am the man that is soon to be recognised as the undisputed British heavyweight champion.
In Gibson's mind, Meloku does not belong in the Revolution Pro Wrestling locker room, let alone be stood there representing it as the undisputed British heavyweight champion. But Zack Gibson doesn't know the Meloku that we all know. Zack Gibson wasn't around to witness Meloku's meteoric rise to the top of Revolution Pro Wrestling that saw him go from pretender to contender to champion to history maker. But this Saturday, Zack Gibson could be about to find out firsthand that Meloku is way more than the set of initials that Zack Gibson remembered before he left for NXT. It's going to be Zack Gibson, Liverpool's number one, against Revolution Pro Wrestling's number one, Meloku, with the undisputed British Heavyweight Championship on the line. In one of the most intriguing contests this Saturday, Gale goes one-on-one with Sabre Jr. in a match which the heart and soul of Revolution Pro Wrestling has wanted since March's Revolution Rumble. It was at that event where Gale shocked the wrestling world, throwing Sabre Jr. over the top rope and eliminating him from a contest in which he was one of the favourites to win. Of course, the NJPW World TV Champion Sabre Jr. didn't take too kindly to a young upstart stealing his thunder as he came back in the ring and laid down a beating on Gale. Pissed off and hell-bent for revenge, it seemed like Zack Sabre Jr. would be gunning for JJ Gale in the near future. However, since that point, Sabre has continually frustrated Gale, refusing to compete against him and putting obstacles in his way. Last but not least, his Ichiban sweet boy Kosei Fujita. He said if JJ Gale defeats him, he gets a match. JJ Gale defeated him at our biggest show ever, our 11-year anniversary show. And the rest, as they say, is history. The table has been laid for a huge clash as JJ Gale goes against a man who has not been defeated in a Revolution Pro Wrestling ring since February 2020, the former British heavyweight champion, the technical wizard, Zack Sabre Jr. The undisputed British Cruiserweight Championship will be on the line when the champion, Connor Mills, puts his gold up against the #1 contender and 2023 British J-Cup winner, Leon Slater. Few people would argue that 2023 hasn't been the year of the youngest in charge, Leon Slater, but one of those people who would put up an argument is a man who feels disrespected, a man who's got a chip on his shoulder, a man who feels he doesn't get the plaudits he deserves in true grit, Connor Mills. Connor Mills feels this has been his year, the year where he finally shook the shadow of his former tag team partner Meloku, a year where he finally earned singles championship gold, yet everyone's talking about Leon Slater, and that eats at Connor Mills. It was this frustration that seemed to fuel Mills when he went face to face with Slater this past Sunday in Southampton, where it was Mills who was left standing. But will the result be the same this Saturday, December 16th, live from the Crystal Palace National Sports Centre, when the Cruiserweight Gold is on the line? It's going to be Connor Mills versus Leon Slater. On the biggest night in Revolution Pro Wrestling history, Luke Jacobs contested in the biggest match of his professional wrestling career when he went toe-to-toe with the Stone Pitbull and former British heavyweight champion Tomohiro Ishii in a match which can only be described as an epic encounter. Stealing headlines around the wrestling world, this is a match which will be ingrained in our memories for a long time to come, but for Luke Jacobs, it will be ingrained in his memory for all the wrong reasons. And Luke Jacobs, knowing he wants to be seen as one of the best wrestlers in the world, knew he had to beat the best wrestlers in the world. So he set himself the task of defeating two men who held victories over him. First, Ricky Knight Jr. And after defeating the former heavyweight champion, he laid down the gauntlet for this Saturday's most anticipated contest.
It's time for round two.
Next, a change of pace as Trent 7 goes one-on-one with the international superstar Volador Jr. in a first-time meeting that came about when Trent 7 made the realization that he may well be the greatest luchador that ever lived.
Trent Sabre, no one's going to shut him up because Trent Sabre can say that he is undefeated at Fantastica Mania UK.
Now 2-0 in CMLL, which officially makes me an undefeated luchador. I know Lucha Libre inside out!
Not the most respectful of the history and tradition of Lucha Libre.
I am the greatest luchador on the planet. I need a test. And this is an open challenge from the greatest luchador in the world to any luchador on the planet. I will see whoever turns up at Crystal Palace. Silence for the greatest luchador on the planet.
His words were circulated around the CMLL office, and step up Volador Jr, who promises he's going to stand up for the history and integrity of Lucha Libre and the world's oldest wrestling promotion, CMLL, as he vows to wow fans in his UK wrestling debut. Will Trent Seven walk away with the bragging rights, or will Volador Jr shut Trent Seven up for good? The undisputed British Women's Championship will be on the line when the champion, Alex Windsor, puts her gold up against Subculture's Dani Luna. Many people speculate that this is Dani Luna's time, the in-form wrestler in Revolution Pro Wrestling, becoming the #1 contender by defeating Kanji and Mercedes Blaze in an epic triple threat match. Dani Luna's also the last person to pin Alex Windsor's shoulders to a mat 1, 2, 3 in a Revolution Pro Wrestling ring. But the champion will have other ideas, because when that gold is on the line, there are no depths she won't sink to. She's durable, she's tough, she's nasty, and she's garnered the nickname Iron Willed for a reason. Just ask the challenger about the last time the pair met in singles competition with the gold on the line. This is a power struggle between two of the very best female athletes in the entire world. Who will lead Rev Pro into 2024 as champion? It's undeniable versus Iron Willed. It's Dani Luna versus Alex Windsor. At our 11-year anniversary show, Spike Trivet crashed the party, announcing his arrival into Rev Pro. But since that point, things haven't gone exactly according to plan for the self-proclaimed outsider. In his in-ring debut, Spike Trivet was defeated by a man he looked to use as a stepping stone en route to an undisputed British Heavyweight Championship match in Robbie X. However, whilst it was X that picked up the win, it was Trivet that made the statement, showing his true colours, leaving Robbie X laying. The pair rematched at our spiritual home of the 229 in London, and Trivet, greeted with a sea of jeers, frustrated about his inability to put X away, was disqualified from the contest. But this time, he unloaded a vicious and nasty assault on Robbie X. But anyone who knows Robbie X knows he won't go down without a fight, because just 2 weeks ago we saw another side of Robbie X viciously and brutally assaulting Trivet ahead of his match with Joshua James, a match which never took place because this time it was Trivet that was carried out. But not before Robbie X could lay down a challenge to a street fight this Saturday, December 16th, at the Crystal Palace National Sports Centre. There is no doubt that this is a different Robbie X. He's unhinged, he's unglued, and he demonstrated this past Sunday against Robert Dreisker, where he couldn't contain his emotions, and he showed exactly the headspace that Spike Trivet has got him in.
Robbie X not done. Right on the kidneys of Robert Dreisker.
And you heard that message next Saturday, Robbie X as he nails Dreisker, nails him with a series of chair shots over and over and over again.
Or in contrast, Trivet deliberately got himself disqualified in his contest with David Francisco because he says that everyone remembers their first.
Now, I understand that my time in this promotion has not gone the way that I wanted it to go. It's no secret that I am 0 in the wings, but that's okay. We all remember our first, but I could have had my win, my first win in Rev Pro, right here, right now. But I decided I wanted it from Robbie X. 16th of December, Crystal Palace, street fight. I will walk away with my first victory in Rev Pro. And then after I'm done with him, I'll rub his face in this stupid logo and I won't stop. I will wipe the floor with the faces of Rev Pro. And then after that, I promise you, I may always be an outsider, but I guarantee, Spike Trivet, the Vulture, you will remember me!
Both men are willing to go to any length to get the win. And with this rule set, this promises to be one of the most physical matches in Revolution Pro Wrestling history. Robbie X versus Spike Trivet in a street fight. This Saturday, we also crown a winner of the 2023 Great British Tag League as Block A winners Anthony Ogogo and Ricky Knight Jr. go up against the former Undisputed British Tag Team Champions, your winners of Block B, Brendan White and Dani Jones, the Greedy Souls. In Block A, it looked like the night pairing of Zack and Ricky Knight Jr. were going to run through the competition with early wins over True and Lacey and the Billington Bulldogs. However, Zack Knight had to withdraw from the competition, leaving Ricky Knight Jr. to look towards family, calling upon a man who he oversaw his first bump in a professional wrestling ring, AEW's governor, and former Olympic boxing bronze medalist Anthony Ogogo. However, in a cruel twist of fate, a family emergency that saw Ricky Knight Jr. once again become a father led to Anthony Ogogo having to take on Lycos Jim and fight for the night's place in the Great British Tag League alone, and fight he did, overcoming both members of Lycos Jim and securing a place in the final for Knight Jr. and himself. Over in Block B, things were not quite so clear-cut, as at the culmination of the block, we were at a stalemate, with Subculture, Greedy Souls and Sunshine Machine joint top on 6 points with head-to-head records which could not pick the teams apart. A three-way winner-takes-all was scheduled for this past Sunday in Southampton, which ultimately saw the Greedy Souls victorious in a match which played to their strengths. Pure chaos from bell to bell, but it was Jones and Brendan White who were victorious. So at Crystal Palace, it's going to be a heavyweight tag team war where we will crown the 2023 Great British Tag League winners. So there you have it, one of the strongest and deepest cards that Revolution Pro Wrestling has ever put on, and it all goes down this Saturday at the Crystal Palace National Sports Centre. Tickets are still on sale now from revolutionprowrestling.com, and if you can't be there live, then make sure you check us out from the comfort of your own home on RevProOnDemand.com, where we'll be streaming the event live as a part of your monthly subscription. There really is no better value in all of professional wrestling. But whatever you do, don't take this show for granted. Don't take Revolution Pro Wrestling for granted, because we will be looking back on nights like this for years to come and saying how lucky we had it. And everyone watching live this Saturday is gonna get lucky, because we are gonna witness the very definition of pro wrestling at its best. We'll see you at the matches.